Hello everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Amateur Hour. I'm the host, Ryan Biller, and today I'm joined by CMU Alumni Sam Gaasch. She'll be performing two of our very own original songs on the guitar. Welcome to Amateur Hour.
Together two and one, I finally found true love. Don't be afraid, it's all okay, and never doubt the heart.
Good work, Sam. That was a really good song. So right off the bat, I noticed that was certainly a very emotional song. So what was it that inspired you to write it in the first place?
I just got into college, and I don't know, it was kind of more about taking risks than worrying about the consequences.
So when did you first write it?
Well, it was, I don't know, like the middle of freshman year, my freshman year here, so it was a couple years ago at this point. I think about 5-ish, maybe, something like that.
I understand that writing lyrics usually varies significantly between artist and artist.
Mm-hmm.
So how exactly do you go about writing your lyrics?
The lyrics always come second. I usually just find something that I like to listen to, and it puts you in a kind of mood, and whatever I'm feeling, whatever that mood that brings, that's kind of just what I end up writing about.
How often would you say that you write songs of your own?
I used to write at least 4 a year. I've kind of dwindled down since things have gotten a little crazy, but I guess 4, not too many.
Yeah. What sort of genre do you usually try to lean towards when you're writing music?
I like a lot of like the finger picking, so like kind of something you can just chill to. I like a lot of slower stuff.
Yeah.
But I suppose Adele is kind of my goal.
Yeah.
So something kind of slow you can listen to, but also on the radio every day. So
A big question that I've always had is how do you go about finding or creating your very own picking melody or pattern? How does that work?
I don't know.
'Cause I would have no idea how to even go about doing something like that.
It's basically you got whatever fun bass note, and then all of the other lower ones, the lower note or the strings, and it kind of just happens. I don't really know.
To shift gears a little bit, when did you first start learning how to play music?
I remember when I first saw a guy playing guitar in a restaurant, and I was like 5 years old, and I like got up from the table and I went to go just like stand right in front of him and just watched him, and he was like playing over somewhere over the rainbow. And then I went back to the table and I told my dad that's what I wanted to do, and he thought I was, you know, like a little kid making stuff up. And then here I am after 5 years old all the way up. It's been about like 20
Yeah.
years. It's a long time.
Are there any other like big aspirations that you have in terms of your music career?
I always like playing with people, honestly, to get enough people who know what they're doing in the same kind of genre to where I can just play with people, because it's always different. It's always cool, and I don't know, it just makes you feel something. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Would you say that when you write music and when you play music, is it more for you? Is it more for other people? Do you usually perform in front of audiences and things?
Yeah, I've kind of started playing a little bit more around town. I always play for me. It always helps me. But it's even better when something that I'm relating to relates to someone else. So if somebody else can join me in that, that's even better.
I feel like a lot of times with any sort of artist, not even just exclusively with music, they say that it's usually therapeutic. So what would you say that you get out of playing music?
I get whatever mood I want to. There's always a different kind of music, always different style. It can pull you out of something. It can help you feel something that someone else is feeling. So it usually gets me out of a mess, but it can just as easily calm me down. So
You'd mentioned Adele earlier. Are there any other artists that inspire you?
a lot of them. Most artists who like basically just get to do what they do inspire me. It may not be exactly what I'm feeling, but if they're enjoying it and I can tell, then I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, anyone. Everyone.
So what was the reasoning as to why you decided to choose guitar of all instruments, other than, of course, seeing that guy playing over the rainbow?
I don't know. I also tried to play piano, but then my parents decided that my brother should get to do something. So I try to hop on any instrument I can. This one just started me off, and it's the easiest one to get back to.
Do you play any other instruments?
I've tried to play most of them.
Which ones?
I was in a band playing bass, vocal, guitar. I did drums for a very little bit. I tried violin, piano I get back to every now and then. Just some of the high prize items, I suppose.
But guitar was the primary one throughout the course of your life?
Yeah.
So are there any main similarities between guitar and the other instruments that you've kind of dabbled with throughout the years?
I don't know, similarities in the music styles. I can pick apart sheet music with the guitar. It's a little harder, but
Yeah.
I don't know, I can get by with that. It's all kind of like the same music, and then it just depends on the specific instrument's main purpose. The bass notes or the melody, strumming, whatever gets it going. It's a little easier to transition, I think, on guitar than it is piano. But I don't know, they all have their unique voice in it.
Right.
It's great when it sounds together.
I know a lot of people who play guitar, and I know a lot of people who sing, but I know very seldom who do it together. So how did you start singing, and then when were you able to pair that with playing guitar?
Well, I've always been singing, and then I picked up the guitar, and it kind of just happened together. I get told that a lot, though, that it's not too easy to play both.
Doesn't seem like it would be easy.
Yeah,
Almost
but
seems
I
like
guess
multitasking.
yeah, I suppose so. I don't know. I guess it depends on the strumming pattern, something you're doing, because some of the more intricate strumming patterns, picking patterns, all that kind of stuff, it gets a little difficult to sing with it. But especially when you're singing, you don't have to be too crazy on the guitar. So I don't know. It hasn't really been a struggle for me.
Are you more confident in singing, or more confident in the guitar, or neither?
I really like them both together, though, because then I'm not too focused and overbearing on my voice or overbearing on the specific strum picking pattern. So they just distract enough from each other to where it's just the music and it's not necessarily singing or strumming or whatever.
Just works out, yeah. Would you say that you sing in front of a lot of people usually?
Yeah, I'm starting to a lot more, doing some stuff around town, but I don't know, it doesn't compare to just the little jam sessions with whoever's listening, friends, family, different instruments.
So what's kind of the rationale as to going around town and performing gigs and things like that? Do you see it going somewhere in the future?
If it does, that'd be cool. Just because the more I'm out there, the more people I get to meet, the more people I can play with, sing with, different styles, ideas, ways of playing, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So just a different perspective. I like it.
Yeah.
More people I can meet
That's
doing
true.
that.
Yeah.
Same
So you have
ways.
another song coming up, and what's the title of that one? Still Alive?
Still alive, yeah.
So what was the origins as to why you decided to title it Still Alive?
The last one didn't have too many repeating lines. This one does, pretty much. It was more of a progression of I was falling in love and then it didn't go so well. So then there's this one.
It's almost like a survival song, it sounds like.
I thought it was my own little Taylor Swift album of like different people.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one is just getting over it, I suppose.
Yeah, the coping mechanism,
Yes.
I guess you could say.
Yes, it was a great coping
Yeah,
mechanism.
I'm
though.
sure.
It was.
So when did you start writing this one?
This was maybe the beginning of sophomore year, so a little bit later.
Of college?
Yeah, still
Okay.
college.
Yeah. And then what was the process like for that one? Similar to your first song? Or not really?
The first song took me a little longer. It was more about what I was feeling. I wanted it to say the right things. This one, I was experimenting. I was listening on the radio, and half the time people were just oohing and ahhing. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
So then I threw a little bit more oohs and ahs. And it's a little shorter of a song, but it's, I don't know, it's a little bit more of a pump up. It's fun to play still.
And then before we, play that, or before you play that song, of course, I'm not doing anything, but
Hop in here.
what made you choose to perform these two songs, Still Alive, and what was the title of the other one, the first one?
Never Doubt the Heart.
Yeah, so why did you choose to play those two here as opposed to the other ones that you could have played?
They were my first two. Most people do like this second one just because it's a little bit more upbeat as opposed to the downbeat. But the first one was a little bit more intricate, and I still like the words that I chose for it. So,
All right.
yeah.
Well, let's hear it.
Thanks.
Yep.
Will not get me down. So what if you're not around? I try to avoid a scene. So what that does to me. I'm still alive. Whoa, yeah. I will survive. Whoa, yeah. Push me off to the side. Cry just to pass the time. You can't hurt me no more. Is that what you're aiming for? I'm still alive. Whoa, yeah. I will survive. Whoa, yeah. Saw you with that girl. Blew up my whole world. The lies that you fed to me led me on for weeks. She used to be my friend.
Thanks.
Yeah, very good. Personally, I like that one better just because it felt more empowering, I guess. You know what I mean? A little more upbeat in terms of like the lyrics and things like that.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Maybe somebody else likes the other one. They're both equally good, I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally, again, probably slanted a little bit more in the direction of Still Alive, but that's just me personally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for anybody that wants to follow your music, is any of your music on Spotify, or where can they find you?
Right now I'm trying to work on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm all under the username Sam Gaasch Official. So pretty easy to find. It's just the same name on almost everything I can find, everything I'm working on myself. So it's
Okay.
my
Yeah,
own
great.
project.
Yeah. Sam, thanks again for being on the show today.
Absolutely.
And then thank you to everyone watching, and be sure to tune in next week for another episode of Amateur Hour. Can you strum us out?
Absolutely.
Thanks.